Nearly there? Ooh.
So I'm just looking for anything that's not quite right. Just any imperfections that I can see going over and just neatening up. Some of it I can't really see, but I can feel a ridge there.
This is walnut, which is delightful to work with. It's very close grained. You've got to have your tools really sharp, because if you cut it the wrong way, if you cut against the grain, you just tend to crush the fibres. And there are such little bits that I'm taking out at the moment that all the time I'm restraining the chisel edge from going on to the next one and taking a little chunk out of where you really don't want to take it or mark it. This is the grid in the tree that's being revealed. So this way I'm following the annual rings, like the latitude on the globe, and this way I'm following the longitude, the medullary rays that are in the tree, which are, the annual rings are clearly visible. You can see the stripes of the annual rings, but the medullary rays in walnut, you've got to look a bit closer to actually see them. But you're given a clue by the fact that the wood will crack and dry along its medullary rays. And they're like the spokes of a wheel coming out of the centre of the tree, going to the edge, to the bark. So where that grid is formed, where you get the concentric rings being cut by the medullary rays, that's what forms what I'm calling the grid. It's a conversation with the wood, with the tree, so it's suggesting something, and then I might accept that or I might do something else. It's about looking closely and seeing what's suggested. And there are going to be problems, but there are always problems. Every tree has a problem. You find a bit of metal in the wrong place, or it's got a rocked pocket that you didn't want to come across, but every tree has got all those characteristics. I haven't got to think of them as bad things necessarily, just accept them and work with it and try and turn it to your advantage, try and work together on it.
This is a facade for the actual desk, which will slot into the cavity, and I presume there'll be receptionists sat down at their desk.
It had massive, massive limbs, so that not there, that was one limb going off that way. It went into many branches then from that point down there. And there was a mega branch going that way as well, because the heart, the rotten heart, it sort of points downwards. So that suggests that the main stem actually we've cut off. There will be a big knot there where that part of it was going down, and then a branch going that way and a branch going that way. Yeah, like oak trees do. And all these little knots all mean that the grain inside it are all like there. How all the medullary rays are going bonkers around there. It's like a little galaxy. Or that one. there maybe. Something like that.
There's cracks there as well, though.
Let's see what that looks like. Yeah. I'm just trying to retain a little bit of the carving in some way. I've tried to do prints and things like that from pieces over the years, and never been that successful. I think we could do it in bronze. So to make little bronze castings, we're going to go to a foundry and say, how do we get like a little thing we can put on the wall, like a relief, you know, like a topographical relief. Probably a couple of coats of oil and a few coats of wax with a good bit of resting in between each coat of wax, and then buffed up when the wax has kind of penetrated. But no sanding at all. The sandpaper kind of fluffs up, whereas if it's a cut finish with the fibres, it's much softer, cleaner. That's exactly 5 metres. So we've taken off 50% of the weight already, about 5 tonnes. So I think it will actually just suggest where to push in and where to come out. So all this is going to be excavated, and here, so that will just swoop in there. You know, all this will be like the grid on the egg. We'll do some of it here, and then we'll put it on purpose-built skates and then roll it just in to the building. We'll just work on the top, but then we're going to have to bring it out and rotate it once more to do the very finishing at the back and the resanding on the top. We won't try and change the shape of that too much, because that's the very heart of the tree, isn't it? So